tutorial, we're gonna study how to create a seasonal analysis using DSSAT 4.5. In crop management data, we already saw how to create an experimental analysis for simulation. Let's create a new one. We close this warning, and then in the file type we select seasonal. By seasonal we mean that a given management analysis will be performed for a number of years. We will call this example UCCO 8109. As usual, write the institute code, site code, CO, and year starting 1981. And we're gonna consider that this is experiment number 9. You remember that it was UCCO 8909. Then, in management, we're gonna try to analyze the response, in this example, of maize. And we select a cultivar. Let's consider, for instance, a Pioneer 3995. Click OK. And in environment, we start by fields, and we choose the weather data of Cordoba, which is UCCO. We're gonna use a medium sandy loam, a medium sandy loam. This has sandy loam texture in the surface, and this is gonna be UCCO 8109. Let's see, total depth is 150. For this soil, we're gonna consider we don't have surface stones. Now we consider the initial conditions. Management, go to planting. We're gonna plant this maize crop on May 1st, 1981. We're gonna let the model calculate the emergence date, and we will have a planting method with dry seed distributed in rows, 70 centimeter row spacing, and we will start by using 2 plants per square meter. Would be the population at seeding and the population on emergence. We consider that the rows are north-south oriented, and the planting depth is going to be 5 centimeters. Okay. We consider the measurement date is going to be equal to the planting date that we have considered to determine the initial conditions. We said that it was May 1st, 1981. Let's assume a previous crop of wheat, root weight 1000 kilos. We don't have Misovia. And for crop residual, we're going to assume that we have 2000 kilos with 1% nitrogen, and we don't consider phosphorus. Incorporation, we're going to incorporate all the residue in 20 centimeter depth. For the soil profile, we will consider that the soil has 100% in water available, means it is at field capacity at the start, and we have 50 kilo of inorganic nitrogen. That recalculate button provides an assignment of water contents for the different layers of the soil and for nitrogen as ammonium and nitrogen as nitrate for the different layers. Click on OK and we go to management. We're gonna apply fertilizer on specific dates using urea and bounded on surface. We're gonna consider a 1 centimeter depth, and we will apply 100 kilo at soil. We add another application. We're gonna apply 3 applications. The second one will be June the 1st, and the third one will be on July the 1st, with a total of 300 kilos. Now we go to simulation options. We start with one level. This gives us the first date of the simulation is equal to the planting date. We start that date, and we see here that we have 10 years available of weather data. Let's consider that we're going to use only 9 that go from 81 to 89. So we write here 9 years, and the crop model is going to be the series maize. Okay, we have in options, we remove the option of nitrogen of symbiosis, and in methods we are going to use measure data for the weather, which are the ones that we have here. We leave everything else as it is. In management, the important thing to check is the irrigation and water management. To avoid including an actual irrigation schedule, we're gonna use automatic irrigation when required. For a maize crop, we may consider a 100 centimeter depth for calculating irrigation, and it will apply irrigation every time we cross the 50% of available water, and then irrigations will be applied. For outputs, we keep the usual layout of output files, but we only change the output frequency to 1. We are not going to create overviews, but we will create summary files. As it is a seasonal analysis, many of the typical outputs will not be created. For instance, the summary, the growth of the water for every day. Okay. Now we go to treatments. In treatments we have a single treatment already defined with one cultivar. We have only one field, one planting condition. We have, for fertilizer, we have to include the fertilizer that we have already defined and the simulation controls that we have already seen. Click on OK. If we go to planting and we want to analyze more strategies for planting density, we're gonna add more planting densities. For instance, for 4 plants per square meter, we add another one. The second would be 4, the third would be 6 plants per square meter. We add another one, would be 8, for instance, 8. We add another one, 10 plants per square meter. And we add finally 12 plants per square meter. Click OK. And now in treatments we add up to 6 treatments. Okay, and here we can add treatment for the 2 plants per square meter, for 6, for 8, for 10, and for 12 plants per square meter. We can change here the description. This would be 2 plants per square meter, would be 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Click on OK. We have defined 6 different levels with the same cultivar, the same field, with different planting densities, as we have already defined, the same fertilizer strategy, and in the simulation controls we have defined that automatic irrigation will be applied. Okay, one important thing as we are working with a seasonal analysis is that all these treatments will be evaluated for 9 years, starting in 1981 and ending on 1989. We click OK, and if we are satisfied, we go to File, Save As. It will provide by default a file name as UCCO8909. 099 is the number of this experiment, and it will be saved in the seasonal folder within DSSAT 45 folder. We click on Save. So now we have it saved for further use within DSSAT 4.5. We click on Exit and we go back to DSSAT 4.5.